So, I was advised to find a necromancer to try to make me no longer undead. However, as I believe you noticed, I am a priest of Pharasma, and trusting necromancers isn't exactly something that comes easy.
Must have taken a lot of strength to come here.
I was told to by my deity. It was an easy choice. However, I will require that if you agree to help, which I do hope you will, mainly because, like I said, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you, that you will allow me to mark you with a sigil that will ensure your hasty end if you attempt to make me more undead rather than less.
Hold diplomacy. Since you just issued a death.
Also bluff, actually. Bluff, then diplomacy. Because that's not all I'm going to make it do.
Okay, bluff first. I get a sensitive move, which is easy as hell.
28.
Yeah, you make it. Here we got it.
And then diplomacy. Because it really isn't to intimidate. It is a diplomacy. I'm still kind of asking. That's a natural 20 for a total of 30 on the diplomacy.
He says...
Plus bonus for topless.
He goes... God damn it! It wouldn't be so bad that he had a -2 in this if he wasn't also rolling below 10 every single time.
I'm okay with
I
that.
think he's rolled under 9. And I think he's rolled an 8, a 5, and a 3. He's just...
And we've been rolling 18s with plus, almost 10 or higher, you know?
Doom rolls 20. This dude rolls. He's an necromancer. He gets a 30. God damn it! He was gonna offer another plan, but no, he's not. He says, "Yeah, that'll be a great idea." And he even holds out his arm, go ahead and do it. I agree.
Okay.
One of you has to sleep in my room. Diplomacy. Damn it! He's just not got. What's his diplomacy? Does he have a diplomacy? No. 6 overall.
Counter diplomacy. We'll see. 24.
Yeah.
You may wish to sit down. This will take quite a few minutes to...
Whatever. I have zombies. He does not sit.
Oh, okay. Oh, he does not sit. Okay.
He might know what you're doing.
Well, as far as I can know... The check to actually know exactly what I'm doing with it would be insanely stupid high, maybe 40 or 50. To know the spell would be a lot easier, but I already basically told him what he's doing. Okay. So yeah, I cast Mark of Justice on him, and this is exactly what I'm doing, so...
I'm going to write this down. Do you want me to give you a piece of paper? Or you can type it down. But go ahead and...
I'm going to... Let's see. It's near the beginning of this episode. I'll find this later, and I'll maybe even clip this out to have.
Okay.
Okay, so... If he perceives himself to be slighting me in any way, including ways that I've explicitly said but not limited to those, he will immediately utter the phrase, Nezro, I believe it was naughty, or was it bad?
I think it was just Nezro, please come eat me.
No, there was a middle one. I think it was Nezro, I've been bad, please come eat me. I don't know, Valky would have paid attention to what she said and done that one right. And when I'm done casting it, I will explain. What I'm about to say is probably going to make you angry, but I highly suggest hearing me out before you do anything rash, or you will die. I lied a lot, and not only will this activate if you do attempt to turn me more undead rather than less, but if you attempt to waste my time, injure me or Doom in any way, ever create another undead again, or... let's see. Or try to remove this curse, you will utter a phrase that will... No, I won't say that. Your doom will be sealed. If you are extremely cooperative, I might find my way to lift the restraint on creating undead, but I do not see that happening lightly.
Roll diplomacy.
$22.
He is going to let go of Doom and step away. Looking a little bit miffed. Mumbles something about him being the necromancer and being more trustworthy.
As I said, I could have slaughtered your undead on the way here, but it.
And then he's like, whatever, let me hold the dagger. Not being nice anymore. You ruined his good mood. He's
I'm okay with that.
He's a little bit pissed off. He's just like, give me.
I hand it to him.
Appraise. First.
I'm not going to kill you. This is the step down from that, just so you know.
Roll diplomacy.
That's only a 16. And of course the implication being if he actually helps, but you know.
He does not answer you.
I wasn't expecting him to. Okay. I have, for the time being, secured the aid of a necromancer.
Did you tell him about the healing?
I haven't yet, no.
Okay.
I assume at some point it will come up that I'll mention, if there's anything else he needs to know, I can tell him now more freely than before.
He rings a bell,
mm-hmm.
and one of undead they can follow minor minor commands. 2 bloody skeletons come in, and he looks over at it in Necrel, which you can understand. He tells it to take y'all to a couple of the to get a couple of bedrooms ready for the 2 of you, because you'll be around for a little while. He also forbids them from attacking you, and tells them to somehow spread the word that you 2 are to be treated as honored guests.
Okay.
He then swears at you in Necrel when he notices you can understand him. He's gonna take the dagger over to his desk and pull out some new parchment, start examining the dagger, taking notes. He looks like he's working on wizard things now.
Oh. I'll say, if there's anything else you need to know, I'll be in the bedroom, I suppose.
One of the skeletons has already left. One of them remains. It appears to be waiting on you.
I turn to follow with it. Is Doom coming as well?
She does.
Alright.
The skeleton shows you to a room. It's a pretty nice room, honestly.
By the way, as we're walking away, I'm untying my robe and putting it back on. And actually, when we get there, I'll put my chainmail on as well.
Yay, I'm comfortable again. Alright.
Okay. Thank you. Saying to Doom.
She nods. Well. She nods, putting her own shirt back on. Roll to understand what she says.
She still has share language. She can do the.
Oh, okay. So she tells you it's been a long time since she's been back here. He's still as nice as ever. Alright. So now I have to roll a series of knowledge checks, followed by a few. How long is this going to take?
You have elderberry gummies.
That's a failure. That's also a failure. A month goes by.
Okay. I'll be doing Bountiful Banquet.
Okay. I'll get to your.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see how long it takes real quick. 3 months. Progress! Yay! More progress! Yay! It took him 4 months to make progress. And then he rolled a 1. 5 months.
I'm starting to get a little worried, and I'm going to be checking in up on him at this point to make sure he's actually.
All right, at the 6-month mark, he brings you into his study. It's a fair bit changed. Roll 6 diplomacies, actually, or 6 sense motives. How friendly are you being to him? Because he after the first day and about a week after that, he does start being polite and nice to you again. But for the first week, he's a dick to you. But then he starts.
Even during that, because I completely understand and he has every right to be at this point.
And then Valky learned how to treat necromancers like humans.
Well, no, let me finish.
No! Hold on!
I'm still probably cringing at undead things and not necessarily trying to hide that.
Which he actually doesn't fault you for either.
Yeah.
He also understands the fact that you all are opposite people from opposite ends of the spectrum.
He is, however, helping me, which he agreed to do, and then I screwed him over, and he's still doing. So I am being as polite as I can stand to be, which is pretty polite. I'm not going to be making his life any harder. I am going to be helping him and not like if he has to see the stump and stuff, I'm going to just let him. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm not going to be.
He doesn't.
Cold.
He doesn't ask for anything like that up to the 6-month mark. He is going to start needing to use you as experimenting because now that he feels as though he's got information.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'm being not friendly, but definitely not rude.
Okay. So let me just put it this way. So the first month, he starts being really he resumes being friendly. He's treating you as a guest. He's treating you not quite as well, but what's the word I'm looking for? Relatable?
Civil.
What? No. Similarly, it's like similar. Comparably, he's treating you comparably well to how you were being treated in the palace in Danston. Actually, like you're getting good treatment. He's not being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I'll even share the bountiful banquet with him, which has got to be weird if Pharasma's looking down and
she knows what you're doing and what you're doing there.
Yeah. It's still got to be weird, like weirder for her than it is for me.
I'm just saying. I'm saying this as a thing because there are two people from very opposite ends of a spectrum here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be spending time together at this point, whether you don't want to, but you have to. There is a chance that point of views change.
Oh, I see.
So I'm making y'all roll checks just for basically being around each other and having to deal with... Because he can't do anything bad to you. He'll die. You can't do anything bad to him.
I need him.
You'll probably die.
Yeah.
At this point, it's once it starts getting... So...
Well, like, me attacking him won't break the curse on his end.
No. Well, the first month, he rolls a 20.
Okay, so... One thing that'll help with judging that. Valky's stance on undead stems almost 100% from her worship of Pharasma.
Right.
She reveres Pharasma not only as her deity, but as the person who gave her life meaning. That's her main relationship with Pharasma. One of Pharasma's main things is undead or abominations. And she has taken that probably less to heart than most people have, like less completely internalized it, but she still acts on it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a lot less judgmental than most people would be. Like personally, she's probably less judgmental than your average citizen would be. Professionally, she
doesn't necessarily have a problem with necromancy in her personality.
Well, she's got a little bit.
The fact that it's still, but not as much as other people.
Yeah, it's still.
It's like prostitutes.
Yo!
Like prostitutes. The door opens. Hello. What's up?
Dinner's ready.
Prostitutes?
Like you can handle them. You've got your hands full with one faggot.
Want to bet? I'm a professional. I can handle multiple dicks.
No, sorry. I was a professional. You just think you're a professional.
I just dabble. It's a hobby. I prostitute as a hobby. Just for fun.
Anyway, come on downstairs. There's pulled pork and barbecue sauce along with Kaiser rolls. I can fill them in. Don't let my microwave cooking go to waste.
Okay.
It means you asshole. You missed it last time.
Do you want a sandwich?
Sure. Thank you very much.
Let's go get a sandwich.
Okay.
This check for who turns who, if anyone turns anyone.
Okay. So, my view is starting out. Undead or abomination because the dead should be respected. Both because it's an extension of respecting the elderly. They have earned that respect by going through life and are kind of defenseless. We shouldn't take advantage of them. Just that kind of general thing. That's why it's wrong. And you're messing up the natural flow.
Right.
Death is what makes life important. You're screwing with that cycle. You're ruining things, basically.
Sure.
But like that's the reason she's personally against it, but not super strongly. Professionally, she's a lot more strongly against it
because of
Pharasma, yeah. So she's not necessarily going to be trying to convince him out of his ways because A, she doesn't expect to be able to, and B, she doesn't see a particular need.
Well, you did say that if he stops with the necromancy, that would be part of the thing.
If he ever creates undead, that's very specific. He can still work with undead and command them and all of that.
Just if
he creates them is what I said.
There's still a chance you talk him out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say there's still a chance you are talked out of being a Pharasma cleric, but that's a very low. He's already rolled 120.
I actually wouldn't be too upset about that is the thing. Like, as a player, there's a lot of things that it would open up, and like I like the idea of being a bit more open to undead being okay right before I become...
Possibly more undead.
No, not that. Before I become a, what was it? The whatever balance.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Because, like,
Envoy.
that's Envoy balance. Yeah, that's one more thing that I'm a little bit more balanced in. I'm a little bit less biased. That's cool.
So I'm gonna let you pick what your counter checks are, because he's not necessarily trying to convince you to leave Pharasma, but just through dealing with him and all of that, it could sway your opinion away from hating undead.
Yeah.
And the creation.
Well, since I'm not necessarily trying to convince him either, I think I'm just going to like switch back and forth. The The first one will be diplomacy because it is more of a explaining where I'm coming from, and then after that, some mainly sense motives and a couple diplomacies thrown in.
All right.
It's like diplomacy, then 2 sense motives, then diplomacy, then 2 sense motives, that kind of thing.
And you're going to make 6 of them.
Okay. So 17 diplomacy is my first. 23 sense motive is my second.
Hold on, because I'm rolling these 2, and I'm having to write them down. Okay.
25. 25. 13. 25.
Alright, so you got that one, you got that one, you got that one, you got that one, he got that one, you got that one.
And all of mine were by, well, most of mine were by quite a bit more, but
Or what?
we're by quite a bit more.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that later. But right now I'm just because this is just general opinion.
Oh,
No change as of right now.
and I assume this is just us having conversation while we're eating every now
Yeah,
and
this
then.
is basically whenever y'all see each other,
Yeah.
interactions,
Mhm.
how because this is the first necromancer I think you've dealt with. Y'all haven't dealt with many undead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's
Well, Lich was technically a necromancer at one point.
That's true.
well, probably not 100% guaranteed, but yeah, probably.
Unless-
But I didn't talk to him much. I was kind of like, hey, I've been hired to kill you, and I don't really care that you're actually a good guy. I'm killing you. Oh, hey, you're a lich, and suddenly my helper is willing to help. Cool. I'm still trying to kill you. Then there was the zombie horde, but those didn't have a controller. Yeah, it's like there might have been one at the Always party, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
this is pretty much your first impression of of necromancers in general.
Other than learned from.
You do know that there are obviously going to be super evil ones, and just your first impression of them is happening to be one who's
pretty decent.
Yeah. If you had chosen to go with one in the Orient, you would hate necromancers more. He was like annoying and also annoying. All right, so
not necessarily evil, but he was super annoying.
Half the year goes by. You were starting to get nervous. He does pull you in. You see. I do have actually a specification on creating undead. What if he accidentally creates undead? Because in experimenting with the dagger, that probably happened.
Not how I worded it to him, but the way I actually cast the spell was if he intends to.
Okay, because he is going to have to cut a few animals with the dagger and see what happens.
Yeah.
A couple of them do become undead. So you walk in his room. You see a few dead animals, a few zombie animals, next to the desk with the dagger on it, and the dagger's on a nice little holder, so it's not touching anything except the holder. Roll a perception.
Damn it. Natural 20 for a total of 31.
You know the dagger has been taken apart, like the part pieces that can be taken apart have been taken apart and reassembled. You can tell it looks like he scratched at some of the runes on it. Were there runes on it? There were runes.
There were cracks. There were not runes.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. I knew there was something on it.
Yellow cracks.
No change with that then.
Because it wasn't
in the center in the center of the room there is a bird in a cage. A headless bird in a cage.
Oh.
But it's alive.
Oh.
Not undead.
Can I just assume that I have Detect Undead prepared at this point and cast it?
Sure. You don't detect undead from the headless bird. That's tweeting.
Where's its head?
In the cage with it.
Okay.
Not attached.
Just moving separately? I actually have a spell that could do that, but I don't think he's using it. Well, no, because the head can't move around, I don't think. Just the body. So never mind.
There's a chair next to the cage. And he looks at you and he's like, I'm gonna try a couple of things. I'm not sure if this is gonna fix anything or not, but I need some more data. I've tried it with animals already. I need to try it with human. And you're probably the best subject considering it's what happened to you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut you with this if that's okay.
Okay. Wisdom check time. One of the things I said was... Oh, that's true. Okay. So the way I did the spell specifically when I was casting it was... If he intended to slight me, including any of the ways I specified, but also more than that. Mm-hmm. And then I went and, not in that, but then I told him ways that it would go off, which would then make him believe that that was an intent to slight me and would trigger it. That was the thinking. So I'm thinking now, if I say he's allowed to, will that negate enough that it won't trigger it? Or do I need to recast it to temporarily allow him to stab me?
If you say just this once. Something like that.
Okay, that it would...
If you specify that it's a isolated permission,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then I do that.
Okay, he picks up the dagger, walks over to you, and unless you're dodging...
No.
He does slice you.
I'm going to leave out my left arm.
Somehow does max damage without trying... He's not trying to do damage. He does 1 damage.
Yeah.
You take 1 damage.
Darn, I'm going to have to heal at least 2 damage to get rid of that.
And your stomp tingles.
I move my leg, and I move my robes away so I can see it, and tell him, my stump feels weird right now. It's kind of tingly.
He's going to ask if he can cut you again.
Again, just this once, yes.
Take another damage. You're about to take half of the damage I'm about to tell you.
Interesting.
Take half of 9 damage.
So, 4.
You feel like you take a lot of negative damage, but your curse relieves some of it for you.
Well, if it's actual negative energy, it heals me.
Completely?
It's... Yeah, from the death domain. I'm healed by both positive and negative energy equally.
Oh, okay.
As normal.
And it healed 4 damage.
This is going to confuse him, isn't it?
He has to make a knowledge arcana check now. Because that's not at all he was... Okay, he made it. Or is that a religion?
I would think religion.
He still made it. Actually,
Yeah.
he makes it more.
Yeah.
He's going to look up at you and use cleric jargon to ask you if that is your domain.
Yes, I
Nod.
am healed by negative energy.
He's going to nod, make a couple more checks.
That's why it was weird to me initially when I was only getting healed half by the positive, is I figured it was like a lesser version of switching over to negative, but I was already healed by negative. So it was, but then it was just something different. But yeah.
Okay. you visibly see the ellipses as he thinks. I need more time, I'm sorry.
Like I said, very unique circumstances.
Alright, so I've got to make a few more checks.
But you're making progress?
I do feel as though I've made progress. He looks over at the headless living bird.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Isn't it? Alright.
Does the bird seem distressed?
Nope.
Okay.
Alright, another month goes by, so 7 months. Jesus. 3 4s in a row! 8 months. And then he rolls a 20. So a couple more months later.
At some point, I have no idea when during all this, I'll mention to Doom that she is, of course, welcome to stay, and the company is most welcome to not be here alone. But I understand if she wishes to leave for now, and I'll contact her when...
Oh, one thing that we both forgot about, Shiana. It's been 8 months. Once you're there the first week, once you're there for the first week, Shiana bursts through a wall, apologizes because her dad wouldn't let her go. She had to break out of the plane. Not sneak out, break out. She had to break out of her father's plane.
Yeah, my first thought was that you were sneaking ahead because the door was ajar, and when you didn't seem to be there, my second thought was that he just didn't want you coming here, which, I understood.
She does let you know that she doesn't like it, and if she's going to be near, but not here. She's going to take up residence in a nearby forest and call that her home for a little while you get sorted, because she does not like how it smells.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
But she does let you know that if you need her, she can be there in under 30 minutes.
Sounds good. I may come out and visit every now and then if he doesn't need me.
Okay, so 8 months, 2 more checks, please.
Let's see, so... Diplomacy, so... 24... and 17. I would like to point out once again, it's really fun playing a character not by what has the most chance of success, but by how they're doing it. Because I have one higher in diplomacy and I'm using it less often because I'm not trying to convince him. And it's just... It makes the game a lot more enjoyable when you don't have to always be looking for the highest advantage,
And you still somehow manage to
do
what you need to do.
But
alright, so 2 more months pass. He calls you back. You can tell he's made progress because there are 2 additional die being rolled when he looks at the stuff. He asks if he can cut you. Take a few times. He asks for a few times.
You have my permission until I leave this room to inflict non-mortal wounds upon me in the aid of your experimentation.
He nods. Cut you 5 times. Now, if only he can roll right both times. Last one. Fucking hot shit. A foot pops out of your stump. On the very last strike.
But like up here?
Yes, just a foot, not a leg. You only have a foot. He goes, oh! Just like that.
I'm going to detect undead on myself and see if I notice it being any different than it was before.
You still have you still do detect as undead, but you have a foot.
Does it seem any more or less? Because it was just barely, slightly, kind of weird before. And
it's the same amount.
Okay. Okay.
He looks up at you. Well, it's a step. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it until I already knew what he was going to say. And then my brain clicked and I was like, oh no. This wasn't even on purpose.
Okay. This hasn't come up. Does Valky hate puns? Especially ones made at her expense.
It was an accidental pun on both points.
Okay.
It's just I realized it while I started saying it, and I was like, God. Let's see. Was he trying to make a pun? Is he that charismatic? No, he was not making a joke.
Okay. So has he made it? So he hasn't made a point of making puns up to this point either, I imagine. Okay. Then I groan slightly.
Just like,
Um,
He has to make another knowledge.
Did I take damage from any of them, and was I healed from any of them?
You took 1 damage on each one. He's not trying to hurt you.
Okay. So 5 damage overall. I'm gonna say, will it interfere if I heal this now?
No, you should be fine.
Okay. I'll do 1 or 2 cure light wounds until it's gone. Whatever. I'm not bothering with keeping up with my spells at this point.
Okay. 2 more months go by. Make checks, please.
Is it 2 or 4?
2.
2. Let's see. Let's see.
13, 10.
So-
13, 12, 11, 10. Good job, Necromancer.
So 21. 17.
Oh, and how long has it been? 10 months? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But I'm actually a little bit less worried because he seems to be.
Making progress?
Yeah.
Yeah, that first little stretch was a bit worrying. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Like at this point, I've reached a point where unless I find someone else who's really good, if this doesn't pan out, I'm kind of screwed. Kind of majorly screwed.
Yeah, Valky might die soon. Because he's
There's a problem with that though.
a little over halfway done.
There's a problem with that.
What's that?
Right now, when she dies, she doesn't go to Pharasma. Which means she might not... I don't know yet, but she might not be willing to die at this point. Because... Yes, being undead is worse, but... I don't know what that is. And... Disobeying my god would be less bad than... being trapped in some... fake death to her because she is faithful.
Alright, so two more months passed. It's been 10 months.
Oh, and you said there were 13 months in the year, though, right?
In that 2 month, the first month, that foot kind of dies. If you remove it, that's up to you, but it does die.
I'll ask him if it would help him if I do like positive or negative energy on it, like to figure out experiment and stuff, because I can do both of those.
Sure, go ahead. One of those helped a lot. He's gonna ask if he can cut you a few times, see what happens. And he cuts you. And this time it definitely feels different. You still take 3 damage. He cuts you 3 times. But you feel... What?
Bugger.
What?
I have a guess at what's going to happen if he succeeds, so I'm kind of bummed. But never mind, go on.
So he cuts you, and the cuts glow with the same yellow glow that the cracks glow with. They just do the 1 damage.
When he is done and I heal them, do they heal the same as I've been before?
Yep.
Like-
Heals at the same rate.
Still the half, and they still completely go away and don't have yellow left over or anything?
Mhm. You do detect as a little bit more undead, though.
I'm going to tell him that was the wrong way.
He swears a little bit. Fuck. What the fuck? He looks honestly baffled and confused.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm trusting the mark. I'm
Yeah, he does not try. He does not say those words. He honestly looks baffled and confused,
Yeah.
and he waves you away, not impolitely,
Mhm.
but you told him about the time frame as well. And
Before I go, do you have just a normal knife? Just
not
regular,
on me,
mundane.
Not on me.
Alright.
He rings a bell, and one of the skeletons brings a dagger.
I'm going to take it, detect magic on it.
You detect none?
Okay. And I'm going to cut in the same places that he did and look at the wound.
Do you want 1 damage if you're not trying to do damage to yourself?
Yeah, I'll basically try to match the wound where he did.
Well, they don't glow?
Okay. I point that out to him and then heal it again and leave him to his work.
They also seem to be bleeding a little bit less than they should, but...
Oh. So my blood pressure has gone down is what I'm hearing. Yay.
And back to the books he goes.
Oh, I was going to say way earlier on though. I will be using this time to kind of keep in touch with probably a lot of people. Like catch up with some people in... like the bartender in Dockside, just ask her, see how she's doing, see how things there are.
Messaging?
Yeah, sending, because I've got nothing else to do with my spells. Check on the Colossus underwater, and then the other ones, see how, make sure they're all doing okay still.
You haven't met the other Colossus?
Not Colossus, the other constructs though. Oh, and of course, Cal as well. I should be doing... Okay, so...
God, fuck. He's not even that stupid. He just
I was gonna say,
rolls
after like 2 more months, I'm gonna start preparing a shit ton of Owl's Wisdom and whatever the intelligence one is, and cast those on him while he's working. They only last 9 minutes each, but
Help us help.
yeah.
It is kind of getting close. He just also keeps rolling.
And that'll be plus
Oh, that works.
+2, well, +4 to his score, so +2 to the modifiers of both while it's up. So, what was that? Fuck it. I believe that is a 28 for the first one. 11. 14.
You finally won one again. Cool.
19. 21.
Alright, that's all. Alright. What was that? 3 more months? 4 more months. So 4 more months pass.
So what are we up to now? Is that 14?
That should be 14, yeah.
Okay. 14
months. It's been a year and a month. So you've got 12 months left.
11 and a half. I did some stuff before I got here.
Okay, yeah. Ish. And he calls you to his office again. And this time he cuts you. You take 1 damage. You'll notice I'm only rolling percentile this time. Ooh. Alright, he cuts you 3 times. High or low?
Hi. Damn it!
Excuse me, I have to go to Universal Monster Rules for no real reason.
Now we
I'm going
Not well.
I'm going to the undead template for no reason whatsoever. That's what's happening.
I'm cutting video because it's been a while.